What's up, my writing weirdos? Welcome to BC Brown Books, where we like to get weird about words in the ways that only writers can, and that's by actually writing the damn things. Today, we have something all new and special. You're probably wondering why I am popping up here on a Monday evening, and that is because Ms. Sako Tumi and I have decided we are going to follow in the footsteps of fellow Authortubers RK Gold and Savvy Writes Books, and we are going to write a frickin' book together on camera. So basically, what this is a project that we kind of started spitballing a little bit and then decided it would be really fun to put this all together and watch you, you can watch, you know what I mean, words. And you can watch us do this from inception all the way through packaging and marketing. So enough about that for what's going on for the moment. I want my wonderful co-host and co-writer to introduce herself. Go ahead, Sako.
Howdy, Howlers. It's Sako Tumi, also known as Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I combine those three things to bring you content. So if you are interested in marketing yourself as an author, or B, you want to be a witch, you're a witch, please drop by my channel and drop a subscribe or a like or ring the bell if that does anything. I'd love to see you.
Wonderful. Yes. So Sako is going to help me out in this process a little bit because we have decided on a genre, which is basically about as far as we've really gotten in the process, minus a little bit of brainstorming. Decided that since I know my paranormal mystery and she knows horror, she's going to help me through this whole business of writing a paranormal horror story, which is definitely not my strong suit. So she's gonna have to be patient with me, but I think it's gonna be so much fun.
I feel like it's gonna be like you're gonna be patient with me. Like it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
Well, the little bit of back and forth that we've done, just in general conversation, which let me tell you, weirdos, it has been so freaking hard to not talk with her about this project for the last week and a half.
Week. Oh, it's been a whole week.
It's been a whole week. Okay.
It feels like it's been a month.
It feels like it's been forever.
We had to stop after an hour because we knew we would just talk all night about it. We would just get carried away. So we were like, no, this is a good stopping point. We will figure things out on stream.
Yeah. So if everybody is wondering how far we've gotten in the process, really all we've done is determine our setting for the story, our genre for the story, and we very briefly spitballed 3 very high level characters, like 70,000 foot view. We basically know their ethnicity and where they're from. That's it.
Yeah, no names, no visage, no. Yeah.
Nothing of any kind of in-depth. So you'll get to see all of that we'll be talking about. And, we talked about our publication schedule just briefly because we had to have an idea of when we wanted to publish this thing because Sako has her own projects going on and I have my own projects going on as well. I mean, Sako's are more imminent, coming out in just a couple of months. So mine way further out than that. But I am happy to report that I did finish my first draft of my 3rd book in my paranormal mystery series last night in the wee hours of the morning. So I now have that off my plate, and I'm super excited that I can start first drafting something totally new. But before first drafting, there are outlining. So happy. Look like we got quite a few people here. I know Sage wanted to hang around for a little bit, but dropping a like and having to leave the stream running, which is so nice. So do us a favor, weirdos, and go ahead and click the like button because it helps get streams like this out to people who are looking and interested in writing. Not to mention, it helps me out. So we will also be going back and forth. Half the time these live streams will be on my channel and half the time they will be on Sako's channel. So alternating weeks, of course, and you can look for us. We'll do all the usual promotion stuff on Instagram and Facebook and all of that good junk. But make sure that you follow us. I'm up here. Sako is all down in the links below. I've got all of her follow information. So that
also I'm on YouTube as this name.
yes,
in case you are unfamiliar.
That is her. So definitely go and follow both of us and click that notification bell if, like Sako says, it does anything anymore. It can at least let you know when we are popping up. But we do plan on being here every Monday from 10:30 or at 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So let's see. We've got Okay, Word is in the house. 2 of my favorite people are doing a thing. That is so sweet. Sako is definitely one of my favorite people. So Mercer is here. Good to see you, Mercer, who just woke up a few minutes ago. So glad that we could join your morning with you and that we can start your morning off right with writing. Doll is in the house. It's our favorite blind alien. Love it when Doll is here. Let's see. We've also got Kat hanging out. It's okay if you don't watch the entire stream. It is totally cool, but catch the replay. We really appreciate that. So Okay is starting to notice where their Avatar: The Last Airbender has a huge influence on how they tell stories. You know, that
is not a bad influence.
Yeah, I was just saying the same thing, that I've started watching the series, and that is a solid writing platform, or like place to come from. I've been incredibly impressed with the show. That 1 is that old, and 2 is a cartoon.
3, if you do martial arts, they really did their homework. Like really super did their homework.
That is awesome. What Now is in the house. Always good to have you. I guess I like that we're funky dream scrabblers today. Debbie is here. Hey, Debbie. And they're working on a map today, so listening to this while they work. Well, hopefully we are entertaining. I like to think we are, but you never know. Bonnie is here, said, hoping to learn some new things, that this is a great idea, and good luck. I would love to say that it was just originally our idea, but it's not entirely. Like I said, RK Gold and Savvy Writes Books started this original process and of writing a book together live on stream. I'm sure other people have done it before, but those are the only 2 people I know about and care about. So ADHD Writer is here. Good to see you. And Megan McCarthy, good to see you. Jennifer says that it is storming here, so I might have to cut out early. I'm going to try not to, though. Okay, that is cool. Just be safe in the storm. That's important. Okay, says Doll, What Now? Yay, all the collaborations of my faves in one spot. Yes, because Doll Cecile Runo and What Now will also be collaborating on a book together. They are going to do it off camera, though, because that works best for their process. So, Carrie said that they missed the last half hour of Sam Nazat werewolf discussion, so they'll try and stay for at least part of this in between trying to get their kiddo to sleep.
Right on.
I understand.
The werewolf talk was good.
Yeah, I did. I was asleep, so I didn't catch it. I always have to catch Sam on the replay, unless for some reason I'm like on her channel, which I have yet to be. But she and I have been talking about that coming up in the future.
Cool.
So this new schedule is just what it is. I just have to catch everybody on the replay right now.
She was talking about possibly doing a vampire talk, and I was like, oh. I know a lot about vampires.
I know quite a bit. I don't know if it's going to become a trend on YouTube, but it totally should become a trend on YouTube. And yes, you should totally do it. Like, just Sako and I just kind of picked each other. I was so excited during RK and Savvy's stream one day that I was like, I really want to do this.
And I was like, we should do this.
Yeah, and then Sako was like, hello. And it was just like, well, hell yes, we should. What Now is What Now is just dropping by. It's a long day that resulted in the fire brigade and soon must sleep. Okay, which is interesting because I woke up to a house full of smoke. Fortunately, nothing was actually on fire. The roommate had just burned some food, but it was enough to make me like wonder about the house. So I kind of had my own scare with the possible fire brigade at the same time.
Oof.
CB, so many lives, so many lives. It's a good thing. It's a good thing. I love that we have so many lives that overlap each other, and there's really no downtime. Like, there's no excuse to not write, which is so much fun.
Yeah.
Please sleep. We can't perform the power of pork.
Sleep is for the weak. You can sleep when you're dead.
No, I love my sleep. Love my sleep. Gots to have my sleep. I am a perfect 10. I'm a 10-minute makeup, 10-minute hair, 10 hours of sleep kind of person. Maya, I do not think that will be a problem. You could totally find another Authortuber who wants to do it.
I want to see like Camille and Maya do a thing.
Well, that would be fun.
Wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Something to consider. You know,
we're tossing names.
I'm just spitballing, you know, like
we're just tossing names.
Maya and Camille.
Sounds good.
It's catchy. Two, I think your stuff would probably mesh pretty well.
Yeah.
Oh boy, we got a Savy. Yes.
And Savy's in the house.
Woo, woo.
We had to give a shout out to Savy, of course, and RK for the inspiration behind this stream. So glad that you will be working on an article and here with us. So excited that you're here.
I hope you approve.
Yes, we hope you approve the process, because you're kind of like pioneering the process. So like, what now says, can't get over the really poetically satisfying syllables of that sentence are. That's satisfying too. How you do? See how you do. ADHD, I need a nap, and by nap, I need to go to bed.
I know those feels.
I say that a lot. Like, I talk about, because I'm on this stupid night shift, and I talk about doing like in the middle of the night because I'm bored. I'm like really, really bored. I write for a while, and then once my eyes get really fatigued, I try to watch TV for a while, but I have to have my captions, of course, so that's just more reading and using my eyes. And like, I'll be like, I'm going to take a nap. And it turns into like 5 hours worth of sleep because there's nothing else to do. Nobody else is awake. I mean, I binge YouTube videos for a while. And then, oh my, yes. Oh, yes. Yes.
Yes. That's a great idea. Let's do that in November, yeah?
Oh, that would be fun. Yeah, that would be fun for a special stream in November. Like, I don't know.
Because we'll be writing the book proper come November.
Come November. The only thing I worry about in November is because we're already going to be like everyday live streaming.
Uh-huh.
And they're going to be everyday live streaming.
Yeah, but I feel like we can knock out two birds with one stone
in a live stream.
In a live stream together. So it counts as theirs and ours, and we can link all together in our playlists and all of that wacky stuff.
Yeah, okay. No, I think that's a good idea. And we could maybe, you know, we'll figure out
We'll hash it out. We'll hash it out later. But yes, definitely a thing.
Yay, double date. And what now?
Yeah.
So. Maya, okay, Camille is Camille Merrick.
Mm-hmm.
Merrick. I'm not.
We're friends on Facebook. You can find her on Facebook. Yeah,
she's on the Authortubers
group,
Facebook group as well. If I think
you should be able to at her in the Authortubers #Authortubers group. Yeah,
so should be able to from there. And her last name here, I'm just gonna.
Myrick.
Yeah. So I'm just going to put it spelled out in the chat real quick.
She was one of the first people to welcome me back to Authortube. She was so excited.
Oh, she's wonderful.
We were like instant friends. Like she's great. I love her to death.
Yeah. She's really, really sweet. So Savvy's saying that there and RK are going to do daily streams in November, so we'll just make some of the daily streams as crossovers. I
That's
agree.
a great idea.
We could do it a couple of times, and I particularly love this idea, Savvy. The
Call it
author
the prom limo.
Love it, I love it, I love it. RK, speaking of the devil, 3 times and he appears. He is running a little late, but that is absolutely okay. We are so happy that you are here. You can catch all of the praise that we were gushing on you and Savvy when you replay it later. I like Savvy just like, by the way, we're doing this thing.
That was Savvy.
He's just like, sounds fun. He's good to go.
Oh.
Here we go. I like what you like, Eva's. It's an Authortube wargy.
Yeah, warg. But see, I see warg, and I think like the big wolf thing
that is
from
true.
World of Warcraft. Yeah,
that is true. A warg. That's what I do think of when I think of a warg. Believe me, I understand, Mercer. I understand. I got 2 dogs in this house and 3 cats between the litter box and the backyard. Yeah. And specifically, Eva is in the house now. It is not a stream without Eva, that is for sure. Here we go. A wargy.
A wargy.
This is a wargy. I still like the prom limo, though. That's so much fun.
I think the prom limo is more fun because a wargy could happen.
It could automatically happen due to prom.
One thing led to another. Did they ever make it to the prom?
Like, what happened in that limo? And Savvy, of course, you are always right. Eva Wrights always has the answers.
No kidding.
RK is down with the whole prom limo. We should do a prom date, a prom double date. Yes, that is what we were talking about, doing a NaNoWriMo prom double date.
I love it.
Crossover stream.
Oh, it'd be so good.
Freaking good idea. Now I'm going to be like dying waiting for November. And I mean, I'm already kind of dying waiting for November because I want to write this book and I'm getting ahead of myself. But here we go. Photoshop a picture of all of us in front of a prom limo in fancy clothes.
I'm getting like some terrible ideas. I love it.
I say we actually just get dolled up in our badassery duds, and like, yeah, my Voit is upset with me. I don't know why, but I say we all get dolled up, take individual pictures, send them to Savvy, and let her play with them.
Sounds great.
So Mercer says November will be their first NaNoWriMo with Authortube. It will officially be my first NaNoWriMo with Authortube as well. So
really?
Yeah, I mean, I've been lurking like last year.
Oh, that's true. I've been lurking for years. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I've lurked and but I've not even been part of chats or anything like that before. I've been comments on people's videos, but I've not even been part of chats.
Yeah, me too. So, that'll be exciting. Yeah.
So Savvy, that just means that we have to do some thrift store shopping.
I don't think I fit any more of my prom-esque dresses.
I know I don't, but I would totally go thrift store shopping for the ugliest prom gown that I could possibly find just for that picture.
I'm tempted to just shop my face on like a 1970s like god-awful thing.
Yeah, no, that's what we do. Okay. Yes. All right. I just wanted the excuse to play dress up and cosplay for the day, but I will totally leave it to those with better Photoshop skills than what I possess to like take my face and put it on
and stick it on a body. I kind of like the idea of just like tape.
Not even good Photoshop. Just
not even good Photoshop. Just like make it as obvious as possible. Like high school. We did that shit in high school all the time, man.
RK does say we could find pictures from our prom night.
I don't think I have any pictures from my prom night anymore. I might have burned it.
I do, but I would have to like send to my mom and have her take a picture of the picture on the wall, or like have her scan it, which I don't even know if my mom is in her 70s, so I don't even know if she can figure out how to use the little photo kiosk scanning thing.
I might have a homecoming picture somewhere.
It's all ideas. It's all ideas. This would be ADHD's first Nano Authortube 2 and cats.
Yeah, besides camp, yeah.
Besides camp, yeah.
I am here for it.
Ugly prom dresses or super extra grandma sweaters. Man, I'm loving all these ideas. Loving all these ones. I can't call my date. I would have no idea even how to call my date for prom. Although, actually, I have a funny story about that because prom.
Oh no, I don't dare talk to that person anymore. No.
Well, so my actual prom date is my ex-husband, which I could talk to him. That's no big deal.
Oh, okay, good. Mine's my ex-fiance, and I'm not gonna talk to that.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But like, I could call him and talk to him, but he's not the person I got the picture with. Because there was a whole thing. I actually ended up getting a picture with my ex-boyfriend because that was who.
Oh, right.
I did it with. And my friend, that was her current boyfriend, and I was dating what's now my ex-husband, but that was her ex-boyfriend. But yeah.
Convoluted wackiness.
Yeah, Savy's like, I'm the loser who married the guy I went to prom with. Wait, BC did it too.
I did not marry that guy.
Okay, went alone with a group of friends. That was all of my proms, like leading up to like my senior year, basically. I went alone with a group of friends. Nobody wanted to go with the freaky girl in the dog collar. Like,
nobody ever wanted to go with me. Yeah.
Yeah, like nobody ever, like in my little rural hometown, nobody wanted to go with us, or wanted to go with me. But Mercer says, when I was a kid, I was disappointed that proms were an American thing, but my school did a year 12 ball, so I was happy, and I want some chocolate. We did prom and ball.
We did not do ball.
Yeah, we did like a winter formal ball every year, which was invitation only. So it was really a popularity game, but your senior year, you were automatically invited.
My prom was not great. Our theme was Under the Stars for 2 years in a row.
That sucks. We had Under the Stars. That was our junior year, but our senior year prom sucked because it was like Castle in the Clouds, but our winter ball was Phantom of the Opera. So one time and one time only, my entire Morticia Addams like aesthetic fit with the theme, and everybody else looked totally out of place.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, RK says senior year you were automatically popular. They just decided to throw us a bone senior year because I definitely was not.
I was the same way. You had to be invited by a fellow like senior or be a senior yourself.
Yeah. So many prom stories. I love it. So let's do this writing thing.
Cool.
Now that we got off, thanks, Savvy.
Thanks, Savvy.
Totally off on this.
Everyone talking about high school now.
Everyone's talking about high school, which totally doesn't come into play in our book, really. Well, I guess it could kind of come into play with one of our characters, but yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Sorry, I did too much high school nostalgia. It's totally cool. It's totally cool. So, so do you want to talk? I've been talking a lot, and it's because I'm hopped up on caffeine and sugar, and I'm super excited.
Do we want to start with the snowflake sort of situation?
Yeah, I figure we can
and
start.
Then we just like fan out from there.
We can do that. Let me bring it up. So for those of you watching, we are going to be using storyplanner.com in order to plan this.
I'm gonna have
Hold on real quick. Let me go in.
I'm gonna be up all night. It's gonna be great.
Second cup of coffee.
Second cup of coffee, yeah.
All right, hold on real quick. I gotta let my floof out.
Sure.
He's like freaking out at the door.
Meow! Meow, damn it! Meow!
Go on, get out of here.
Yeah. Snowflake method. So I implemented some of this into my 30-day outline thing. I think doing that this way from the get-go is probably going to be, thumbs up.
Yes. So we do not have a project name yet for this particular project. So do we want to create some type of working? Do we just want to create the stream book for now?
Or do we want to call it Project Flambeau?
Oh yeah, that's a great idea. We'll call it Project Flambeau, which for the reason we decided to do that is because we are going to go with Flambeau witchy abilities in the story. We're going to try and highlight those as much as possible.
Yeah.
That's basically what's been
and the terrible things that can happen with fire.
Yes, because we're just going to have fun with fire. Always a good thing. So write a one-sentence summary of our novel. Should tell the story in as few words as possible, ideally less than 15. This is the big picture of the story. It'll serve as your 10-second selling tool if you need to pitch your novel. I had that thing that came to me right as I was falling asleep.
I think that's a concise way of putting it.
So everybody can see the process that we've got going on. I mean, literally right here. This is kind of where we've just chatted back and forth a little bit and had ideas for the last week and tried to contain ourselves as much as possible with ideas for the last week. So we're not starting off as cool as RK and Savvy did with literal inception right on stream, but we couldn't help ourselves. When we said we want to do this together, our writer brains got all writery.
This was an hour. Yeah. This whole thing was an hour. Yeah. So how do we sum this up in a sentence? So our Japanese American investigator investigates mages who have sold their soul to the devil. Something antagonist adopting girl and power struggle and something.
A Japanese American investigator investigates mages who have sold their soul to the devil.
To a demon? To demons?
To demons. Have sold their souls to demons. I still feel like it's going to be too.
Is that too long?
I don't think so. I can type tonight, apparently. Meanwhile, human.
Social worker.
Meanwhile, it's a Homan social worker. Meanwhile, a human social worker works toward trafficking human souls for demons.
And somehow a young Latina is caught in the middle.
A Japanese-American investigator investigates mages who have sold their souls to demons. Meanwhile, human social worker works towards trafficking human souls for demons. A young Latina gets caught in the middle. And
Are we one word too many?
And all hell breaks loose.
Yeah, sounds great.
Okay. I think
Is that more than 15 words? That's probably more than 15 words.
Yes, the first line is 12 words. But
investigator.
Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can't
sum this up even tighter.
Yeah. Mage, investigator, searches out humans caught in a demonic trafficking ring. Mage investigator searches out humans caught in a demonic trafficking ring.
That probably sums it up, frankly.
Created by human social workers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 words.
Close enough. Yeah. Close enough.
I guess I could just put by social workers. I don't necessarily have to have human.
Okay. Yeah.
So, all right.
That works.
That is the one sentence.
Expand your sentence. Yay!
Yay! I'm glad that people can't wait to read it already. Mercer says that they are going to watch the replay and complete a book with us. You totally should.
That's going to be amazing.
You should not only watch ours, you should watch RK and Savy's as well.
Yes, absolutely. They're using a different method, which is awesome.
Yeah. So, and this site, storyplanner.com, has a ton of different methods that you can use. So
it's super cool.
Yes, much simpler, digging it. Awesome. Alley Cat, good to see you. We're just really getting started. We're using the snowflake method.
That's funny.
I already like this, and I've only heard like 30 seconds of this plot. Thank you, doll. Oh, yeah, we already did the shout out, Jeff Cook. Yeah, Savvy hasn't gotten there, or not Savvy. Sako hasn't gotten there yet with me, but she'll get there. She'll get there. Shout out Jeff Cook for his really old website, but really awesome character profile development.
Oh.
So expand your sentence to one paragraph or around 5 sentences describing the narrative, the story narrative.
We can cut and paste the first thing that we wrote into that, I think.
Oh, this up here?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Let's do that. All right, that is where we get down to more detail.
Yeah.
And you can tell we're totally using a thesaurus while we write this, apparently, because it's an investigator who investigates, and it's a social worker who works. So.
Whoops.
I think it's totally fine though, because everybody does this in their outlining and their first drafting. Nobody gets creative with words. So
I made coffee. What the fuck?
Soda. Wish I had more soda. But I have lots of chocolate in front of me, and I'm all hyped up and like bouncing around and everything. So RK hates it when his social worker doesn't work. Dedication page. I gotta leave it up so the Sako reads it when she comes back. This is great. I love that. But I'm not dead. I'm not dead yet.
Remember. In memory of Jeff Cook. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah. No, I'm not freaking dead. Oh, yes. I love myself a sugar high, CB. Very much love myself a sugar high. And I totally said chocolate because, Alley Cat, I finished my first draft of my paranormal mystery book last night, and I begged my partner to bring me home candy bars. Candy bars and soda, because that's how I get down with my bad self when I celebrate.
Nice.
Yup. That, and I haven't been able to go to the dispensary, so yeah, Brain Dump Doc is just weird with words. No one writes a poetic outline ever.
Nope.
Yeah, no problem. Not dead yet. Quote it a lot. An investigator that doesn't investigate is just a gator. Devin coming in hard.
Oh, so
Love
good.
it. Love it, love it, love it. Milk chocolate is my preference. Milk chocolate with caramel.
I am a dark chocolate purist, though I like the dark chocolate and ginger combination.
I like dark chocolate and mint, but like just straight or dark chocolate and orange. But just straight up dark chocolate is just a tiny bit too bitter for me.
I will eat like almost baker's chocolate.
Yeah, I can't.
I love it dark.
Just a little bit too much for me. I got a sweet tooth.
Doll is speaking my language. Oh.
Now, see, I could do salted dark chocolate, RK. I'd be totally good with that.
Yeah, my mom's a big fan of the sea salt and dark chocolate.
Yeah. See, as long as I can cut the dark chocolate with a little bit of something else, I'm like totally good with it.
Sure.
Doll is good with the dark chocolate and mint as well.
I'm into that, chocolate with licorice filling. Yeah.
I've never had that.
I've never had it either, but it sounds awesome.
It sounds like really amazing because I freaking love, I'm not like a huge chocoholic, but man, when I want it, I really want it.
Yeah, Drehawk is talking about the 70%. I like the 95%.
Yeah.
I have like a 93% that has the ginger with it and stuff, and so good.
Yeah, I'm usually only about like the 70-75%. That's about as dark as I can take it. So, ooh, Eva's got some dark chocolate covered almonds. See, I could do that too. It's just got to be cut with something. Got to have a little something else with it, a little something, something.
Oh, we could just talk about chocolate all night, or we can write this book.
We can write this book. Yes. This is what happens though during the creative process. We just get sidetracked. Explain the first quarter of the book up to first disaster, where the hero commits to the story. Okay, so I think
someone was murdered. Maybe.
Mm-hmm. What?
Does he investigate a murder?
Is it a murder, or is it just does somebody end up dying when our Latina?
That's my guess.
When her power activates.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So maybe he's also an investigator in IRL, like in Mundania.
But not a cop.
Not a cop, but like a gumshoe.
Okay, so like
he's old enough to have gone through the force and maybe served some time in Afghanistan or something, and then decided to like open up a investigative, and this would be a job that would be like not taking pictures of cheating spouses and shit.
Yeah. So Eva Wright says maybe a missing person even.
Well, I think we should find a burnt corpse.
Yeah, I think that ties in better with her flambeau abilities.
I think, or maybe she sets a apartment building on fire or something, and people die in it.
Which really works, because if we're going to set this in LA and we're going to do it during the riots / vandalism / like everything going on, craziness going.
Maybe it's blamed on the riot. That they think the riot set the fire.
So, but if he's going to be dispatched by the Mage Council, why would they necessarily care, other than it's got ties to being possibly flambeau involved?
Well, it depends on how fast he gets to the scene. If he gets to the scene before the cops, he can report it to the Mage Council, and the Mage Council can be like, maybe we should look into this. Because we had a power spike, and you should investigate that.
And is in the vicinity of where your dude told you that there are weird circumstances behind this particular arson?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's no accelerant, but it's clearly arson?
Yeah.
Okay. So Japanese American investigator has a contact on the force.
Sure, yeah.
To let him know that there were strange circumstances behind a possible arson death that might be magical related. Mage Council says that at the same time, they got a major spike.
Oh, we should mention the riot.
Oh, yeah. Maybe magic related.
Bam, it's a love story? No. The Latina is like 14. We're not going to do that, no.
Yeah, 15 years old. We don't have her being very old. And yes, doll, I'm sure we will need a little bit of Spanish help. My Spanish is very broken, what little I know. And so I'm sure we'll need a little bit of help. Good. Yes, we thought it would be a good time to start a fire too. It wasn't a deliberate fire, but we wanted to tie in contemporary events with the story and make it as realistic as possible to contemporary events.
Mm-hmm.
Possible arson death that might be magically related. Possible arson death during the LA riots. Might be possibly Major Council says it.
I wonder if I can full screen this. Can I full screen this? No.
Major spike on the magical network and wants him to check it out for demonic activity. Okay. We got that so far. So that's the very beginning of it, basically.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where they commit, and the first disaster.
That's where they commit with the first disaster.
Yeah. So, okay, yeah. That's good for now. So explain the second quarter of the book up to the second disaster where the hero changes his mode of operations. So maybe he was all gung-ho about it definitely being demonically involved. Like he's totally fixated the fact that it has to be demonically involved because nobody is that powerful.
Sure.
And how does that lead to this girl though? How does that? Because I doubt she's hanging around.
There's got to be like leftover clothing or like maybe a cross necklace or maybe something left behind.
A backpack.
A backpack.
Part of a charred backpack, or like it gets caught on fire as she's like running to escape, so she ditches it.
Maybe.
And
there could be stuff in the backpack.
There could be stuff in the backpack that wouldn't necessarily directly lead to her, but we could bring in another magical user at that point that's kind of like a bloodhound, a magical bloodhound.
Well, that's technically what our investigator was, right?
No, he's more like a bounty hunter, I thought.
I thought he was a bloodhound.
Well, I thought we went with the bounty hunter.
We can do like a clairvoyant bloodhound sort of situation.
Yeah. Okay.
Someone else, a contact of some kind.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like just a supporting character, just to drop in order to connect the dots between this backpack and a charred backpack. Leads a magical clairvoyant. Leads Okay.
I'm trying so hard to read this.
I know it's so hard to see. I can't make it any bigger though.
No, I think what I should do is look at it on YouTube. Theater mode.
Oh, this is also a great idea. Lizzie points out the obvious that if it's a contemporary during a riot, maybe there's video, like people using phones. Duh.
Derp. No, that's a great idea.
Hey, Caro. Hey, Tamara. Good to see you.
Oh, boy.
But Lizzie, that's a brilliant idea.
That's a brilliant idea.
I like that better. So, so the investigator is sure it's demonic related. Until a video surfaces showing a Latina girl, a Latina teen activating. Yeah. During the riots.
Does she do it inside a building or does she do it outside?
I think maybe she's tagging a building. I think maybe she's vandalizing a building during the riot, and
I've the backpack and
yeah, hence the backpack full of stuff.
But I think I like the idea of
backpack full of paint,
stencils, etc. Yeah.
Why did she activate? Just because she's so passionate?
No. I think someone had to have triggered her somehow. So maybe there was tear gas shot at her.
Okay, yeah, she'd be in distress.
She'd be in distress.
And so she lashes out blindly, kind of a thing.
Right. I think it's an AoE effect, right? So like it's just she's like practically pressed against the building and she ignites and it's just like an area of effect, like just a radius around her.
Yeah. Yeah, like Lizzie says, riots are 100%. That's totally, yes. I love that, Lizzie. Love it.
I think that's a really good point. I think she should be in public when it happens.
Yeah. So activates because tear gas is fired. She's in distress. She lashes out blindly while being trapped against a building. It was tagging. Okay. So then he has to like totally change his thought process from
he's not going up against another gun. He's going against a teenage girl.
Yeah.
So his experience up to this point has probably been with full-grown adults who summon demons and make deals with them and stuff. Become thralls.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. I was looking for the word. So investigator isn't going against a thrall.
Yeah.
He's going against a frightened teenage girl with mega power.
So he's prepping with like holy things in the beginning because he thinks he's going against someone who's been touched by a demon. Whereas holy things aren't going to help him against like a girl who has power similar to his own.
Oh, that's great. That's how we can totally bring in the social workers, because now he doesn't know what to do to help this girl.
Right.
So he actually ends up leading our social worker to her.
Oh, I like it.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a great idea, because then he's gonna feel responsible for what happens to her.
Yeah.
She doesn't know how to control them yet. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm more into this than my own writing.
I do that every time on RK and Savy's stream. I'm just totally into their book right now, not in mine. I love just throwing out the social worker who works. Yeah, Drayhawk, it's power she doesn't know how to control, doesn't even know that she had until this very moment. So
I'm thinking like Jubilee during the Bastion era, where she destroys a city block. Like up to that point, she had never really pushed her powers, and I think like we should take it to 11 right. We should take it to 11 right out of the gate.
Yeah, it's totally when she Omegas. I'm gonna call it even Omega power.
Sure.
Okay. So that would be in the third part of the book, though, leading the social worker, or would that still be in the second quarter of the book? Or would that be the third quarter?
I think we should introduce the antagonist, but the antagonist isn't an antagonist yet.
Okay, so in the second quarter, we still need to, since the investigator was prepared with holy stuff to go against demons, he seeks out a social worker to help a troubled teen.
Okay, so we've got the clairvoyant, we've got the social worker, we've got the contact in the force.
Yes.
For supporting characters.
Yes.
Okay.
Which the contact on the force could be little more than, doesn't need to be any more really than dialogue on a phone call.
I'm inclined to think that maybe his contact with the social worker is through the cop.
Maybe.
To involve the cop a little bit more. So like mundane things seem really mundane, and the clairvoyant is part of the council, maybe. So the fantastic is really fantastic, but I think the lines should get more and more blurred as the book goes on.
Okay, I like that. So Eva thinks taser instead of pepper spray. Maybe I can kind of see her as reaction being very powerful, but not so much that she'd be dragged to Area 51.
Well, actually, I like the idea of pepper spray, because that would explain why someone was close enough to get burned.
True. Or, yeah, we can't have it be a cop that was killed, like tasered. Because if it was a cop that was killed, then we'd have to have police force crawling all over this all the time.
And a taser would
but I think
pacify her. It wouldn't trigger her.
Well, I don't know. It might trigger the hell out of me.
Oh. Oh yeah, Lizzie. Yeah, Lizzie's got a good idea there.
So people wouldn't even know it was her unless they're really looking.
So there should be like government agents who are basically trying to hide what actually happened. Maybe, or not government agents, but Mage Council.
Mage Council. So they want to keep this on the DL as much as possible, like powers and demonic entities. And
if they did their job right, the populace will have no idea that anything was done at all. So maybe on the media, they report it as a bomb that happened to go off during the riot.
See, I think though it would be better to have her ability trigger slightly smaller.
Okay.
And then later, when they get into the fight between the demons and the social worker, then she becomes the bomb.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I like the idea of her being a smaller fire in the beginning, and then the building catches fire, and then it just gets out of control, and she's got to get the hell out of there.
Yeah. So something not quite as big to begin with, and wouldn't and wouldn't like, oh, I lost my train of thought.
I like the idea of her not knowing that there were people in the apartment building that she was.
Yeah, I want her to be racked with guilt for this. Like, I want.
She didn't mean for anybody to get hurt.
Yeah.
And when somebody is hurt, the law becomes involved. And when the law becomes involved, they're going to go after someone like her because, for one, she's, she was in the vicinity at X time.
Yeah.
She was doing something illegal to begin with.
Yeah. She's tagging a building. She's a person of color. She's an easy target because she's a hooligan. There's the BLM movement going. So we've got Gestapo anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So third quarter of the book, up to the disaster, which forces the hero to commit to the ending. So we've introduced the social worker in the second corner of the book.
Mm-hmm. I'm seeing like they want her to like be aware that she's killed someone as opposed to finding out like on TV or something. I think she should find out on TV.
Yeah, I think that's good. I do like this. I love the homeless guy. We could specifically have her on Skid. We could have her in the Skid Row area of LA.
Mm-hmm.
I have some experience with that area. I have friends that have way more experience in that area, and I'd be able to like talk to them.
Talk to them when you roll out there.
Yeah, and I'd be able to use like the photographs and stuff that they took last time they were out helping the homeless in the Skid Row area, and they've been out there a couple of times. Perfect. So we could use that as good reference material.
Excellent. Yeah, the characters are wearing masks.
Oh yes. Yeah, so I mean, she'd totally be wearing a mask. She'd be wearing a fuck you type of mask, or an ACAB type of mask, or something along those lines, because she's very involved in the movement, and that's what she was tagging.
I think she should have a paint mask. Because if she's tagging, she's probably going to be wearing something with a filter, like anyway.
Yeah. I do like this. Yeah, on her way to the wall to tag, she can even talk to him, toss him some coins. Maybe she's a regular in this area, so
maybe the homeless guy knows her.
Yeah. Okay.
So she wouldn't find out on TV. She would find out after she comes out of her fugue.
She could still find out. She could still find out on TV. Like, as she comes out of her fugue, she's crashing at a place. Like,
I don't think she's homeless. I think she's
not. Yeah.
I think she's in a troubled home, and she doesn't like being home, because being home means she becomes the target of an abusive family or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe she's just in a neglectful home.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
They're working all the time. Maybe
there's no food in the fridge.
Yeah, maybe it's a single parent, not enough money to go around. Maybe she's got a couple of siblings even that are younger.
Sure.
Kind of a thing. So,
which would explain how they get split up, when she goes into the foster system.
Yeah.
So is this a foster home that's neglecting her? So she's already part of the system?
I do like having her. I kind of like this older sister thing as her guardian. Maybe her older sister is only just now 18. Mom, dad took off.
Maybe mom and dad are full-time working, still not enough money to make ends meet. And the older sister takes care of,
Maybe she tends to just crash with her sister. Her sister's out and no. Because if her actually no, here's the problem. She wouldn't go into the foster care system if her sister is older and an adult.
Right.
So there's an inconsistency right there because she would have family to be able to lean on.
She needs to be lost at sea, like completely like on her own. She thinks she's independent, that she knows everything on the planet, sort of situation. However, she still feels like she needs to carry a knife.
Yeah. And yes, Savvy, we will be doing
Monday evenings at 10:30 Eastern until, I don't know, midnight. I don't know. We'll until we stop, basically.
Yeah. Until we stop. Night, Sylvia. Sleep well. Thank you for hitting the like button. Appreciate it. You're awesome.
Oh.
See, yeah, foster systems try and keep the children with their parents and families. They'd be involved if she wasn't with her parents. So
I think they should be involved.
Yeah, I don't like necessarily writing the parents out entirely. I like having the parents involved in a story if we can. But I still think maybe it should be a single parent.
Okay.
And maybe a single dad, so he doesn't really know what to do with a teenage girl.
Sure.
And, it would be interesting just to have, like, I don't know, her mom was a drug addict that ran off or something. Not necessarily a drug addict, but just ran off on him.
Either ran off or died or something.
Yeah, ran off.
Tragic. Something tragic.
Yeah, something tragic. Something that traumatized her. Made her lash out, stuff like that as a kid, and there's not enough money coming into the house. She's become really passionate about social issues. Here we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, dad works midnight, sleeps all day.
And that's the only way, that's like the only way he can make enough money to barely pay rent.
Yeah. I mean, he could even work 2 jobs. Like, my mom worked 3 jobs while I was a kid growing up. She worked 2 different day jobs, like every other day. And then she worked like a nighttime job for like part-time hours. Well, that's an idea. Mom got picked up by ICE.
Ooh. I like it.
Yeah, Lizzie does too. Ooh, ICE. Yeah, that would be another social issue that we could bring into the story.
I think that's a great idea.
Wanted to. Okay. We're kind of getting ahead. We're getting more into the character profile of our Latina girl, but it gives us some, like.
Okay, so we're doing, what are we planning right now?
Okay, so we still need to explain the 3rd quarter of the book up to the 3rd disaster, which forces the hero to commit to the ending.
To commit to the ending.
Yeah, which the ending.
We don't know what the ending is yet.
Nope.
Do we come up with the ending first and then we track back to see what we need? Because the 3rd act is where that's my weak spot. That 3rd plot point is always my weak spot. Okay.
Usually I do okay with the 3rd act, with knowing how it's going to end and then working backwards. So our ending would be a showdown. We already came up with this between her going Omega level and
our hero and our demon? Question mark. I like the idea of like a fake climax. So the first climax would be versus the demon, which is hard, sure, but the real climax is versus, or maybe the fake climax is versus the social worker, which isn't too, I mean, it's terrible, but like he has powers. He's a force to be reckoned with. And then we have another climax that has him fighting the demon.
That has
Because
our
he
investigator.
has a grip on the girl.
Oh, that has the social worker.
Yeah.
Okay, so how does our investigator come back into it then?
How does he get involved in the climax? That's where our third plot point is, right? How does he get involved with the climax?
I mean, unless we totally do this slightly differently and our Latina is our heroine.
I like the idea, kind of like a Last of Us sort of situation, where
we trade off.
Where it trades off and she becomes the hero of the book.
Okay.
That's our, so maybe during the What's with the Dad?
I'm not sure. The dad has to exist, so use the dad.
Use the dad for what?
I'm not sure, Eva, how we are going to use the dad. Maybe spin your wheels on that a little bit and elaborate.
Yeah, I got nothing.
So we know that she's going to have a showdown with her power going from just like fireworks to Omega level, taking out the social worker who also has powers. Maybe his powers are mind control type of, in order to get thralls to sign the contract with the demons, he's got some not lesser mind control, but some suggestive power.
Suggestive power, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I dig that.
So that's the mega showdown. That's the mega ending. But before that, we wanted a lesser
climax, right? So we want something that knocks him on his ass and she has to step in. So does that happen during the actual climax or does that happen earlier and she has to carry him through the rest of the book?
I think it would still happen in the third quarter of the book. Because it would be...
So maybe that's the plot point, is he gets knocked on his ass somehow, maybe by the demon or something. Or maybe he finds out that like something stupid, like he was touched as a child by a demon or something like that, and that's what gave him his powers. Or she has to meet up with an investigator for something, maybe gets a weird vibe from the social worker, so he digs in farther or something.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to get to this is the third act. We're looking for the third plot point. So we're past the point of her calling him and
asking for help
and stuff like that. That would be way earlier in the book. Social worker both have powers, would likely feel...
So the social worker is actually our antagonist. He's in league with the demons. He's trying to get thralls for the demons, preferably thralls with already like magical ability to sign their soul away and become thralls.
Yeah.
So the social worker not a good guy in this story at all. We're leading up.
We want him to seem like a good guy for like the first half of the book or so. Maybe it's the midpoint that it's revealed he is not the good guy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we could totally do that too, Lizzie.
Oh yeah, the white knight syndrome.
Oh yeah, we totally want the white knight syndrome.
White savior wackiness. Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah, we want the whole I know what's best for you. I know how to fix all your problems, and to do that, it's going to be my way. It's what I think will fix your problems. It's not what would actually fix your problems. Like, say what would fix her problems is if her dad just had a better job, kind of a thing. That's all that would fix her problems. Except for losing her mom to ICE as a kid was traumatic, was extremely traumatic, but maybe she's got a good relationship with her dad when he's around.
I like the idea of her dad being like a day laborer. So he's working for pennies on the dollar.
Then we couldn't have him sleeping all day and up at night.
Well, right. If we had, I'm hesitant about him being up at night. Like, what's the benefit of him being up at night?
Just the fact that, average people are awake during the day and not so much at night. But it doesn't matter because he's not available. Like, if we have him working a couple of jobs, maybe he is a day laborer during the day and he's a janitor at night.
I think that's a great idea.
Okay. All right. So day laborer during the day
so dad's not available because he's working constantly, and the court basically decides that she's too young to be by herself.
I think maybe it gets,
or maybe she goes into juvie.
She could go into juvie. That would get our police officer contact more involved. She could go into juvie.
And if the police are involved, ICE is involved.
Yeah.
They're going to ask mom and dad for papers.
Yeah.
She was born in the States, which
maybe dad was not.
Maybe dad was not.
Mom got picked up by ICE when she was younger. Dad managed to evade all this time, but he's here with his dreamer kid.
What if she goes through the horror of watching her dad get taken too?
I think that would be when she would activate.
It can be not necessarily activate, but she can fire off again.
She can trigger again.
She can trigger off again. So the house or the apartment or whatever that they live in goes up in flames. She no longer has a place to live because she burned her place down.
So then he's on the streets crashing with people. So that leads us up to... Ouch.
Because that could be when we find out that the social worker, or no, hold on.
No, because we have him bringing the social worker into it.
Right. So
I love that loophole that if he hadn't been tracking down this girl because of the Mage Council. So the Mage Council isn't perfect and it can lead to bigger problems. I love that idea. And then that way it helps them uncover the social worker human trafficking ring with the demons and the thralls. I agree, Lizzie. That poor dad is going to be so exhausted.
Yeah, yeah. My dad didn't sleep for much of my childhood. He slept 2 hours a night.
Yeah, my mom slept during that few hours for that other job that she had at night, because she was a companion for the elderly at night. And so she'd sleep when they slept and wake up every time they had to go to the bathroom to make sure they were okay and help them out and stuff like that. But she didn't sleep.
Yeah.
The woman was like a true powerhouse. So, okay. We still don't have a small ending, though.
Okay, so are we at the ending or are we at that?
We're at the third quarter. I'm sorry. We're at the third corner. So mega ending is going to be here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
So y'all are basically watching us do the snowflake method. I've done it one time before, and I think, Sako, you said you haven't used it before, or?
I've dabbled with it.
Okay. Thanks, Eva.
Thanks, Eva. We appreciate you.
Anytime. We love it. Some of your suggestions were amazing, and that's what we want. We need more suggestions.
Yeah. All right. I'll be right back. I need to go AFK for a second.
Okay. So the small ending in the third quarter. See, the third quarter is where I always have the most problems. It's where everything falters for me a little bit. So let's see. We've brought the social worker into it with the investigator. We've got the contact on the force. We've introduced the demons. Third quarter of the book up to the third disaster, which forces the hero to commit to the ending. So we're gonna kind of start off. Maybe we're doing this. Third quarter of the book up to the third disaster, which forces the hero to commit to the ending. So always where I suck. Always where I suck. Yeah, I think initially, Lizzie, she's going to be really freaked out by the investigator because, yeah, he's all trying to insert himself in her life, and she's got trust issues because he says he's with this council, this mage council, which means authority to her, and authority is bad because it's always ICE and it's always ACAB and stuff like that. So I totally think that you're right, that she is freaked out a little bit by the investigator.
I think that's a great idea.
To begin with.
So the investigator is perceived as a threat.
Yeah, because like he's talking about this mage council, that's authority, that means cops.
Well, does he talk about the mage council? Is that a thing he does?
I think his thing would be about being totally honest would have to be, because he's got to get her to believe about demons and thralls and like her soul being at. I mean, if the mage council keeps all of this stuff on like the down low and like keeps everything under wraps, it's not common knowledge.
I kind of like the idea of him opening up to her.
Yeah,
but he's got to open up in kind, right? So
and he could talk about him growing up and his own power, and like maybe something really happened to somebody bad when he was a kid. Maybe he hurt a family member or something like that when he went flambeau.
Sure.
So I think that's a really good idea. What I was saying while you were away was just that the third quarter of the book is where I always flounder. The ending of a book, I am good with that big spectacular conflict.
Me too.
But it's
that third plot point is my weak spot, man. Like,
rough. Help us out, Authortube. So by this point, we've basically transitioned from him being the savior, from our investigator being the hero of the book, and we're showcasing her more as the hero of the book.
So something has to happen to him that knocks him down. Maybe there's a point where he feels the need to use his power and it burns him out. No pun intended.
Yeah.
Like,
pun intended.
Pun intended. But could the girl be freaked out by the investigator because the investigator keeps popping up because he wants to know all the magic stuff? So she thinks he's the bad guy. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Until he blows his lid. The question is, why does he blow his lid?
So
maybe the first face-off with the demon, where he loses.
First faced off with the demon, the investigator loses.
And then we change POV to her.
Burning himself out. Switch POV to Tina Teen, who has to protect the investigator. Oh, okay. So So he burns himself out, which could basically knock him out, and he has to end up going to the hospital.
Sure.
And the contact, the cop contact, knows about the whole mage council thing. That's why he gives cases to his friend, and the cop contact actually is the one that tells her about the investigator's background and the fact that he hurt somebody when he powered up as a kid as well, and he's really this good guy.
So they're right.
And so she chooses.
She has to decide for herself as to whether or not he's worth protecting.
Yeah. Except for she did just watch him try and save her. Like maybe the demon.
Save her from the demon? What?
The demons came for her?
Or no.
Oh, wait. What if ice came for her?
And he would use his powers against ICE?
As a distraction, maybe. Like as a big enough distraction, a big enough deterrent.
It's not a bad idea. Look over here, not over here. Look over here, not over here.
Kind of a thing. Yeah.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, and he sustains it for so long while she gets away that it ends up.
Lizzie's on the right track. I think ICE agents that are thralls.
Bingo. Okay. Let me see here. First face off with the demon disguised. ICE agents. Well, not demon disguised, but sort of. With the demon.
He should be present. I think the demon should be present and take the form of I don't know, like a captain or something. But he is more so preoccupied with the
Okay. So I've got first faced off with the demon-affiliated ICE agents who are thralls.
Mm-hmm.
The investigator loses, burning himself out as he tries to get her safely away from them. Police contact.
He has to be taken to the hospital.
Yeah. He's taken to the hospital.
But if he's burned out, how does he get away? Does she get him away from the ICE agents?
No, I think the actual police at that point get involved.
Okay.
So I think his police contact manages to be in the right, because maybe he called his police contact before he went to pick her up or before he went to talk to her, just as a safety precaution, or the mage council reached out to his police contact because he hadn't checked in and he's supposed to check in. That's like a little minutia.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. So he's taken to the hospital after the real police
get involved. Because it's the police that basically protect him, and they basically get in an argument with ICE and all of that jazz.
Yeah. So he's taken to the hospital after the real police get involved because he did not check in with the mage council. So they reached out to his police contact friend. Okay, so police contact gets in touch with her.
Does he, or does she end up going to the hospital to visit him?
How would she know? She doesn't know. She would be, if she got away before he knocked himself out, and she would have to get away before he knocked himself out.
If we're switching POV, she would have to know that.
So maybe she just tries to follow up with him afterwards.
Right.
Like almost a grateful, like, thank you. I didn't take this seriously until last night. And then she leaves dozens of voicemails and texts and nothing.
Which, yeah.
So she...
Maybe she has contact with the cop? Does she have contact with the cop?
Maybe our investigator gives...
Yeah, let's see if on the same line I am. I'm sorry, what?
So maybe he gives his police contact's number as a backup, as an emergency contact. So,
And the cop put him in the hospital, basically.
Yeah. We will definitely be doing sensitivity readers.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I want ICE to be like,
Natalie.
Like, hi Natalie. You'll have the Latina population buying this book and eating it like candy if you do this plot against ICE. I say yes to it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm good with that.
I think the third plot point should have ICE involved.
Yeah. Yeah, we definitely got that. So he's taken to the hospital after the real police get involved because he did not check in with Mage Council, so they reached out to his police contact friend. Switch point of view to Latina teen who contacts the police contact as a backup when she can't get a hold of...
I like the idea that, so when they go to when she goes to the hospital, she finds out that he put her as a contact.
Okay.
That was allowed to visit him. So he knew that she would come for him.
Showing that he knows deep down that
she actually cares, that like she's been like hard ass the entire time, but if she wouldn't be there if she didn't actually care.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think, it's not that people are missing.
We're kind of past the missing people possibility. So she find out that the investigator put her as a contact who could visit him. So he could even wake up at the hospital while she's there, and this is when she really gets his origin story, like direct from him, or is it better coming from the police contact friend?
I think it's better coming from the police contact. So she's wondering for much of the book why the hell he gives a shit. And it's because he sees a lot of himself in her.
Okay.
So maybe like he wakes up and then like goes back to sleep, and then she comes out and the cop says stuff either before or after the visit.
Okay. And Devin has Ice Baby now stuck in his head. Okay, I missed some of these comments, so I'm just going to scroll back through them real quick.
Cool.
Oh, Savvy had to bounce out. Awesome.
Cool.
So understand. I'm glad that you're liking the story so far, and we will definitely see you Monday.
Woo!
Every Monday till we do this shit. Okay.
Cool.
I think he's been Dreyhawk. I think he's been reluctant up to this point, like wanting to share too much personal with her. So I think we'll make him really reluctant up to this point. But now he realizes that they're coming for her hardcore, and she's on the edge. He recognizes it because she came back for him, and she didn't have to.
Yeah.
So, like he needs to tip her in his favor, and it's got to be with the whole, like, hey, you basically were the same person. I'm just older than you are. Kind of a thing.
So I think the cop says it before she walks in, and then he wakes up and confirms it.
So maybe the cop is talking to him and she overhears.
Oh,
hey,
yeah, maybe so.
You. So stop being so damn stubborn with her and just tell her about your past. Tell her about the kid that died when you activated. You know where she's coming from. Yeah, see, Natalie was thinking the same thing.
The question is like, as a Japanese American, he would not be forthcoming.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's why she has to find out accidentally, even by overhearing it. So he could still be reluctant. He could still be like, no, I'm not telling her all that shit. She doesn't need to know about my past mistakes and the things that I made and the things that I did. And she basically bursts in and goes, what the fuck?
Yeah, I think she should burst in.
Yeah, so we get it up to that point where she bursts in and she's like, what the fuck, dude? Here I was thinking that you were just somebody trying to control me this whole time. And you didn't bother to tell me that.
Yeah, I like that better.
Yeah. So basically she confronts him with knowledge she already has. And so he can't at this point deny.
He can't deny it.
Yeah, he can't deny it. He can't be not forthcoming about the information. So
I think there are things that she should know and things that he should know. And she has been just as walled off as he has been. Yeah. So she has decided to visit him in the hospital and be forthcoming. And she walks in on this conversation about the cop chewing him out for not being forthcoming. And it's like, the girl should know why she's being tracked.
Yeah. Police contact talking with investigator about not being forthcoming with the teen, about why she's
being hunted by the thralls.
Hunted by thralls and the mage council.
Yeah.
And I mean, why are they both coming at her? Right. They're saying hunted by thralls and the mage council. I hate that this keeps changing the word thralls to thrills.
That's really annoying.
So being hunted by thralls and the mage council, and she overhears the conversation and bursts in like, WTF. You could have just told me this shit. Okay.
Why didn't you tell me sooner?
Yeah.
Because I was trying to protect you.
Yeah, more of the I was trying to protect you thing. Okay. So then that would lead us up to her going on the social worker who has suggestive powers, because maybe they get into the fourth quarter when they have the final confrontation. It's the social worker has to turn his attention on the investigator, using his suggestive powers on the investigator, and now she's protective. And then she, like, omegas to protect him. Because that way we end with her not just protecting herself,
but protecting him too.
But protecting him as well. And making the decision that basically she's not going to be a thrall. So I like that the social worker is there, but I feel like we haven't had any real demons show up. We've just had thralls.
Right.
So I feel like there needs to be a demon.
I think demons should be starting to show up in like the latter part of the third act.
No, these thralls are not the green-skinned orcs from.
No.
These are demonic thralls.
These are demonic thralls, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like. So maybe instead of up here in the third corner, these demon-affiliated ice agents, maybe they're not thralls. Maybe they're really low-level demons, just real low level.
I think there should be a demon involved.
Okay.
And the demon is basically directing these ICE agents as his thralls to attack.
Okay.
Which isn't any choice of theirs, but they sold their souls.
Yeah. So they do the demon's bidding.
Yeah.
Demon involved in the scene as a captain / commander sort. Okay.
And make him a baddie like Belial or something.
Oh yeah, that would be good. I don't even remember how to spell that.
Belial.
That's right. Okay. All right, I got that in there. Okay. So now we expand it into a one-page summary.
Ooh, I like Natalie's suggestion about the nurse saying that he's awake. And that makes her go to his room, and then she walks in on the conversation.
I mean, I don't necessarily think she needs to be told if she just goes during visiting hours.
True.
Yeah, I mean, she's got to check in at the desk, but you know,
and that's how she finds out that she is made as one of the contacts.
Yeah, like she can go there and she can ask, you know, what room is such and such in, and she could be like, hold on, what's your name? Because
only family and friends, only people that
because he's restricted who has access to him.
Yeah.
So what is your name, kind of a thing.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
And then finds out that the name is actually on the list.
Yeah.
It's a very short list, but it's there.
Yeah, it's got like 6 people on it.
If that. Great.
Yeah. So okay. Now we're supposed to create a one-page story summary, expand each of the sentences in our. There were supposed to be sentences before. I think
we're
good. I think we're good. Yeah, it says expand each of the sentences in your previous summary into a full paragraph. All but the last paragraph should end in disaster. The final paragraph should tell how the story ends. So I'm just going to copy and...
Well, we haven't figured out an actual ending. We have figured out the climaxes, but we haven't figured out the resolution.
True. So that is very...
Succeed or fail. Like, do we want him to succeed? This is a horror story, so he could fail.
He could. He could. She could end up signing over her soul. He could end up signing over his soul.
Ooh. Belial manipulates him.
Belial manipulates him.
Pretending to be her?
Well, that would track.
He's like signing papers to like adopt her or something because he's super attached to her. And then it turns out to be Belial. He just sold his soul to Belial.
I don't know. I think that one's a little.
Yeah, maybe not.
Well, basically, Belial's pissed at this point. What if he just decides to just flat out kill her? So he's just forget it. He doesn't even want her power at this point. He's more than willing to sacrifice her so that he can have him instead.
But if we're changing the POV to her, maybe he is killed and she carries the rest of the story.
Well, she's already carrying the story at this point.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. So
like, is she more powerful than he is? Than our hero?
That's what I think. I think she is. I think she becomes a lot more powerful than.
Because I think Belial should be willing to go through our hero in order to get to her. But it turns out that she is powerful enough she has enough faith in her that Belial can't get anywhere near her.
Yeah. So what if
I like the idea of underlying faith being the thing that protects her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she's always been confident in herself,
mm-hmm.
and very much her own independent person. And this is the first time she's really started questioning anything, because this is just so far out of like her norm and her realm that she doesn't even know how to deal with this. Which is why she has to lean on other people in this particular story.
And then as soon as she leans on someone, he goes tits up, right?
Yeah. So Natalie says if he's killed, it might unlock certain motivations in her to go after the people she holds responsible for his death.
I think, well, his death should be really close to the end.
Yeah.
Like that's like the last thing that happens before.
So we know.
Sorry,
go ahead.
I kind of have the idea that maybe the devil himself shows up to stop Belial from going anywhere near her because he has plans for her.
Well, now we're talking about a possibility of a series. Belial to go through.
They leave her alone with with our hero's corpse, basically.
So Belial kills the investigator
to
get to her.
But she has to be immune to Belial somehow, just naturally, just like even her fire burns Belial.
Man, that would be some Omega level shit. Enough to destroy a demon.
Enough to destroy a demon. It's like a celestial fire.
Oh, so maybe she's not a flambeau at all.
Maybe she's not a flamboyant. Maybe she's part angel.
Yeah, she could be celestial. Somewhere down the line, just wherever, and it just happened to be right mix of genetics that it instilled in her, kind of a thing.
It's still fire, but it is not hellfire.
So Teen is immune to Belial and can actually burn him because she has celestial fire and not hellfire. Which is, the investigator has hellfire, so that explains why Belial can get to him, because he's just a standard flambeau.
Right. A powerful one.
Powerful as hell.
But still hellfire.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lizzie says that her mom's an angel.
Sure.
And that's the real twist. And the above sets it up for a series, even if the motivations are unlocked at the end, and leaves the story open for more shit hit the ice stuff. That's true. And if her mom's actually an angel, then her mom didn't get necessarily taken by ice. Her mom just maybe had to leave. No, I like the whole demonic thrall ice trying to take out the celestial on Earth. So that's what happened, actually, was the demonic.
That's why they're after her, is because she's celestial.
Yeah, it's because
I like the idea of Belial not knowing that she's celestial. That up until this point,
the devil's not going to tell his lieutenants. The devil's not going to tell his lieutenants. He's just going to say, "Go get that one. That's the one I want," and bring back by any means possible, short of killing her. Okay. I don't know where to put this exactly, but mom is celestial. Ice was demonic thralls. Killing the celestial. Belial does not know that.
Yeah, Lizzie, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Or maybe Dreyhawk's idea of the ICE story being the cover-up of her having to return to heaven, or for the war between heaven and hell on Earth.
Aw, thank you, doll. That is good to know. Just for the record, because I'm half Latina in the chat, I'm not offended. I'm honored and thankful for the representation.
Woo!
Yeah, so yeah, her mom, I still think her mom wouldn't have made it traumatic, though.
It's got to be a terrible, terrible event.
Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, she
had to have witnessed it when she was young.
Yeah, she fell in love with a mortal. Hey, it happens. She had a child.
So she's a Nephilim?
Yeah, she'd be a Nephilim, basically.
Oh, the coffee's gone. Oh, I guess I should take my meds. Jeez. Oh, cool, Lloyd. Thank you.
Yeah, so
I haven't looked at Facebook yet.
Yeah. So Belial does not know that the teen is a Nephilim. Devil wants the teen, quote, at all costs.
Oh, I don't have any more, I don't think.
Yeah, I like that, Megan. Angels in the City of Angels.
I think that's great.
Yeah. Yeah, and Doll's like, that's merch right there. Angels in the City of Angels. Okay.
Crap.
All right. So Belial goes through and kills the investigator to get to her. Teen is immune to Belial and can actually burn him because she has celestial fire and not hellfire. She takes out Belial. Natalie says that Doll is not alone in this chat, that they are not a true Latina, but rather from the Caribbean, but they concur with their thoughts of the representation.
Cool.
Lizzie says, I'm vibing too much with this because I had my own devil story, but in mine, the devil is a good guy, so it's fun to listen to all this.
I like the idea of the Morning Star being, I mean, he's still an angel, right? So
yeah, he's still an angel. It's not that he can't have good.
Ooh, that's our devil. Is that our devil is actually the Morning Star. He is
so she takes
a fucking angel.
So she takes out Belial. So she takes out Belial with the Morning Star's help? No.
No. I think the Morning Star should come and basically make Belial not exist anymore.
But then she's not the hero. Morning Star is.
Right. I think the Morning Star should be the hero.
Because why though?
Because he wants her to
side with good?
No. I don't think the Morning Star is good.
I don't think he's good. I
think he should permit her to exist. Well, Natalie, that's what I'm talking about, is that the Morning Star is an angel. Right?
Yeah. He's just a aloof. Human lives don't matter.
Well, human lives mean souls.
Human lives mean souls, which is very important. Oh, here we go. Mercer's got a good idea here. He could be manipulating her to do his bidding by making her think he's good by defeating Belial.
Great.
That's a really good idea. So, but I still like her. I still like her fire being the one that destroys Belial.
Okay.
And
so her fire should still destroy Belial.
So we should have Morningstar come to her after the destruction of Belial. And offer to tutor her now, because she no longer has the investigator.
I like it.
Offer to take her in under his wing and explain that he's a celestial, just like her mother was.
Yeah.
There we go. She takes out Belial. The celestial fire. Thank you there, Mercer. Appreciate it. The celestial fire, and then Morningstar comes to her and offers to tutor her in her power because the investigator is now dead. And damn it, I think we have a series.
Or we can leave it at that.
Or we could totally leave it at that and just have people just like salivating. Because the investigator is now dead.
I like if this were to turn into a series, it would be a different character every book.
Oh, definitely.
So the first book would be our Japanese American. The second book would be our Latina. Our third book could be a completely different character that the Latina wants to protect for some reason. Okay. So that's if we do a series. That's a big if.
That's a big if.
Big if. But I like this idea of it's open-ended enough to where it could be a series, but there's enough of a tied up, gift present at the end.
Yeah.
For our resolution.
Yeah, so she takes out Belial with celestial fire, and then Morningstar comes to her and offers to tutor her in her power because the investigator is now dead. He can even reveal that her mother was a celestial and that he knew her.
Nice. Lizzie's like, so we gonna get signed copies?
So most definitely those of you that reach out to us will be ARC readers probably.
Yes, please.
So just basically, like, as we get more towards the end of live streaming all of this and doing it on camera, just totally be like, remember the time, and I want to be an ARC reader. If you can't type anymore, doll, go to sleep, please.
Go to sleep.
Yes, get some rest. We love that you're here. And Lizzie, nice. Doll says, I'm mixed, but I have it in the mix. I'm all for representation, being it all the multiculturalism. Yeah, we wanted with this story to really write and represent more cultures.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, Sako's got the benefit of being Japanese American, so we can write from that with experience. I live in Arizona and the Southwest, where we have a large Latinx population. My roommate is Latin, is Latino, so I can go there for a lot of reference materials. And I personally just like writing from the position of people of color.
Me too.
Just as much as possible. Natalie says, I can relate to the comment of open-ended enough to be a series, because that's how the Wolf Raiders of Caldara ended up as a series, because I was like, okay, what else could happen?
Right.
Oh, and Doll is willing to sensitivity read for us and sent links to, oh, cool. I will do that. Thank you, Doll. I appreciate it. Yes, Alley Cat, it totally gives me an excuse to immerse myself in other people's cultures and learn and know more things.
Yep.
So.
Cool.
All right.
So now we have an ending.
Now we have.
So do we just cut and paste all of our things together? And
yeah, so I think I'm gonna preview. Here's your plan, but it says nothing.
Right. I think it wants the last thing.
All right, so I'll cut and paste it all in there.
Yeah. Do we want the second one?
I'm just gonna put it all in there. Look at all of my wonderful typos.
Cool.
Because that's the real shit when writing your story.
Good night, doll.
Night, doll. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for the vote of confidence.
All right.
Offered a sensitivity read.
Now let's see if this actually, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Here is our beautiful plan. Beautiful plan. All right. So I'm going to copy this.
Yeah. Stick it in the
story Bible.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to put it below our timeline.
That's a good idea.
And probably not purple.
Date it? Do we want to date it?
Yeah, we could. Woo, let's make this actual visible.
Yeah. Oof.
This gray is a little
hard to read.
There we go. And this tiny font, this 10.5 font, little difficult to read. Let's go for a 12. There we go.
Hooray.
So today's stream, we did 7/27/20. This is today's stream.
Cool.
Cool. So we got the outline done, and it's like perfect because we're right at like 2 hours.
Perfect.
Like, see, so look, we just outlined a whole book with y'all's help in 2 hours. 2 hours. I mean,
Well,
and
we plotted it out. We
plotted
didn't outline the whole thing.
That's
We just
true.
plotted it out.
we plotted it out. I'm sorry. We plotted it out. So, but what?
I'm hype.
Sure. This, yeah, okay, yeah.
I am hype.
Now we have to not talk about it for another week.
It makes me want to watch Constantine.
Oh, it does make me want to watch Constantine. Does.
Or read Hellblazer.
Yes.
How about the source of discovering a way to defeat the demons comes from what most might see as an unlikely place? Set the defeat in Africa?
Doesn't match with the story. I mean, I could see it for other.
That's too left field.
Yeah, that comes out of nowhere. And Lizzie says that this plotting is basically how I outline. I should probably outline better. So we will actually get down to like a full outline going forward. But this gives us our major plot points.
And also set some personality quirks that I was hoping for with our main characters.
Yes, and now we have fun homework. Tamara says, watch Constantine. Definitely anything with Keanu is good with me. And it was just, it's got Tilda in it and Keanu in it. And
Tilda was so good as Gabriel. Holy crap.
Oh my God, amazing as Gabriel.
And one of my favorite demons, like my favorite Lucifers. Oh
yeah, definitely. I can't ever think of that actor's name, but yes. Yeah, absolutely great. So, general consensus of Constantine being an amazing movie.
It is not Hellblazer. I had to constantly tell myself it's not fucking Hellblazer.
But it was good in and of its own right.
In and of its own right, it was good.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so I'm going to read through this real quick.
Okay.
So we can kind of end on that note. So for today's stream, we plotted out that a mage investigator searches out humans caught in a demon trafficking ring instigated by a social worker. Investigator is sure it's demonic related until a video surfaces showing the Latina teen activating during a riot. She's tagging, vandalizing a building, wearing a backpack full of paint, etc. when she activates. Activates because tear gas is fired and she is in distress and she lashes out blindly while being trapped against a building she was tagging. Investigator.
I have an idea. Mm-hmm. So she activates. She has the paint in her backpack. It's the backpack that blows.
Yeah, we could do that. That way it's a small activation.
Right.
So yes, try and put in anything as I'm reading. Okay, so the backpack blows, catching the building on fire, killing a homeless person she kind of knew.
Sounds great.
Okay. When she activates because tear gas is fired and she is in distress and she lashes out blindly while being trapped against a building she was tagging. The investigator isn't going against a thrall now. He is going against a frightened teenage girl with Omega power. Since investigator was prepared with holy stuff to go against demons, he seeks out the social worker to help a troubled teen, leading the social worker and the demons to the girl. Investigator, I think I put this in here twice. Yes, I did. Whoops. Okay. There we go. Small ending. Demon involved in this scene is a captain, commander sort, Belial. First face-off with the demon-affiliated ICE agents who are thralls. The investigator loses, burning himself out as he tries to get her to safely away from them. He's taken to the hospital after the real police get involved because he did not check in with the Mage Council, so they reached out to his police contact friend. Switch point of view to Latina teen, who contacts the police contact as a backup when she can't get a hold of the investigator. She finds out that the investigator put her as a contact who would visit him, i.e. he knew that she would come for him, showing that he knows deep down that she is good at heart. Police contact talking with investigator about not being forthcoming with the teen about why she's being hunted by thralls and the Mage Council, and she overhears the conversation and bursts in like, WTF, you could have just told me this shit. Mega ending. Showdown between her going Omega level and taking out the social worker who also has powers with suggestive powers. Social worker turns his powers on the investigator, and then she Omegas to protect him. Belial to go through / kill the investigator to get to her. Tina's immune to Belial and can actually burn him because she has celestial fire and not hellfire. She takes out Belial with celestial fire, and then Morningstar comes to her and offers to tutor her in her power because the investigator is now dead. He can even reveal that her mother was a celestial and that he knew her. Quote, Mom is a celestial. Ice was demonic thralls killing the celestial. Belial does not know that the teen is Nephilim. Devil wants the teen at all costs.
Cool.
Okay. We got plots.
Thank you guys so much for helping us out with this.
And Natalie wants series 2 now. And it's good. And Natalie wants series 2. Okay. Don't know that there's going to be a series 2, but
let's take it one step at a time.
One book at a time. One book at a time when it comes to this. Yeah, this is the fastest I have ever plotted out a book.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It usually takes me days of brainstorming and bouncing my ideas off of random plot trampoline. So that's what I call people I know.
Mm-hmm.
And like hashing.
Well, it helped that we had like a room full of people.
It does help. We had not just a room full of people, we had a room full of writers.
Yeah, exactly.
We totally had a room full of writers so that we could leverage, which I think was great. I am super excited about this. Super excited. Okay. So for those of you that did not know, our intended release date for this book is going to be September of 2021. So that is our first plan for release date of this book. So
that's the goal.
Yeah, so that's the goal. Glad that you guys had fun and enjoy like our process as we went through it. I think it's really important for us as writers to see each other's processes and realize that there are so many different ways that we get to the stories that we tell.
Yeah.
So, okay, Word wants to know when the movie TV adaptation is. I could see it.
I can see it.
So Netflix, Lizzie says Netflix gonna buy the rights. RK says to pitch it to Amazon to get that TV deal. Yeah. Okay. One step at a time. Let's write the book. Let's release the book.
Let's write and release the book first.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about shit to do with it afterwards.
Yeah. Then we'll talk about like our rights and how we're going to do expanded distribution rights and things like that. So, all right. So yeah, September 2021 is when we plan on coming out with this book. And I think we are good for tonight's stream.
I think so.
Right? Now you and I just have to figure out how the hell not to work on this for another week. These are going to be the longest weeks ever.
Oh my God.
Ever.
So what's next? Do we continue to flesh out these paragraphs, or do we take a break from the outline and start doing character profiles? Is that our next one, profiles?
Yeah, I think our next one should be the character profiles. That way we can get more of the behind the scenes motivations, get an idea for their personalities and their voices. Natalie says, now plot another book. No, Natalie, one book at a time. Yeah, definitely probably character plans. The profiles I think we should really kind of do next. If we do anything in the background, it's just going to be comments and questions that we have for each other that I think we can put on the Google Doc.
Yeah.
And it might just be us thinking of ways to streamline stuff or do stuff like that. glad that you had fun, Megan.
Yay!
We'll be here every Monday until we start doing twice a week, which will probably be sometime in Preptober. And then we will do every day streams in NaNoWriMo during NaNoWriMo. So that we can actually get this shit written. And then we're gonna have to figure out how to do that all at the same time. So that'll be interesting, actually writing it in real time with each other at the same time. So, okay. Yes. So, Sako, why don't you tell people more about you on our way out tonight?
Okay. Howdy, Howlers. It's Sako Tumi, also known as Voit. I write horror, and I'm a witch, and I'm a graphic designer, and sometimes I put all those things together to bring you content. Please drop by, say hello. Next week, we're going to be on my channel.
Yes.
We'll go back and forth. Don't worry. If you miss an episode, there will be a playlist, probably on both our accounts, to be frank. We will see you guys later.
Yes, and of course, Writing Weirdos, I am BC, and this is BC Brown Books, where we get weird about words in the ways that writers can, and that's by writing them. And literally, you're watching the whole process while we do it. You can catch Sako's information down below. Her channel literally is Sako Tumi, but that is also linked down below, and all of her socials as well. You should totally go by and subscribe to her. Like she said, next week we will be doing this exact stream on her channel. We're just going to alternate each week. You can find me on all my social medias, are pretty much right up there at the very top. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I just want to encourage everybody to keep getting weird about your words and keep writing, because it is so important that we have stories out there that represent everybody.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to y'all later. Bye.
Bye.